Hey, welcome to Rockoli. If you're into record collecting, talking about music, new, old, music you love, music you hate, go ahead and click that subscribe button and you won't miss an episode. This week, we're talking zombies, and I reveal 2 zombies you know of, that you didn't know that you know of. And I share the ultimate pressing of Candlemass's Ancient Dreams. Then, we discuss a shamefully underappreciated band, Lucifer's Friend. All that and more coming up.
Get ready for Rockoli, bringing music to you. Rockoli, rock and roll, metal and country too. Get ready for the record of the week. Get ready for Rockoli.
Record of the week is actually a box set, and it's the Zombies, the complete studio recordings, which is ironic because it's missing 2 tracks, Sticks and Stones and Roadrunner. So I first heard the Zombies when I was in high school. My parents and I, we would watch American Idol. The 6th season, it had this guy, Blake Lewis, and in one of the competitions, he sung Time of the Season, and I heard that, and I loved that song, so I had to know who sung it. So looked it up, listened to the original, and it was so good, so much better. I love that song, and I would listen to that over and over occasionally, and just kind of like one of those songs that anytime it was on the radio, I would stop and listen. And so a little bit about the Zombies. They were a group out of the UK, that kind of that 60s pop rock sound. They actually won a talent contest where the grand prize was a recording session with Decca Recordings. So they win. They record a song called She's Not There. It becomes a huge hit, especially in America. They were the first British group after the Beatles to have a #1 hit in America. So that gets them a recording deal. They put out an album, Tell Her No, or She's Not There, Tell Her No. It might be something else, a different title in the UK. Then that's relatively successful. So then they record Odyssey and Oracle. Amazing album. It is what most people think of when they hear the Zombies, Odyssey and Oracle, but it flopped when it first came out, especially in the UK. Nobody cared at the time. The group disbanded, went on to other things, other jobs, other bands. Well, then the track Time of the Season becomes a huge hit a few years later. So this is going up the charts, but at the time the Zombies didn't know this. The world wasn't as connected as it is now thanks to the internet. A company called Delta Promotions owned the rights to their music in America. So in order to profit off of the Time of the Season track strolling up the charts, Delta Promotions puts together 2 fake zombie bands and has them tour around the nation. And it fools people. Photos of the band are not easily accessible at the time. People didn't know what they looked like. Slowly, people started to catch on. The real Zombies got wind of what was happening over in America. Delta Promotions maintained that they own the rights to the song, and if they want to tour around a fake zombie band and have those songs played, that's within their rights. So the Zombies tried, going to the cities that the fake zombies were touring, call in their radio stations and warn people that these are fake zombies, don't go see them. So the fake zombie band in Texas was actually very talented. You might know them today as the band ZZ Top. Yes, ZZ Top were fake zombies. The Zombies, if you haven't ever checked them out, highly recommend Odyssey and Oracle. I also really love the track The Way I Feel Inside. I think their whole discography is worth a listen. I think they're worth checking out. Now it's time for a segment, Hidden Gem, where I talk about a criminally underappreciated album. This week, it's Lucifer's Friend and their self-titled debut, 1970. This album is incredible. I love the sound on this record. It's that classic 70s hard rock, but you've probably never heard it. If you like Led Zeppelin, you'll like this album. This is really good. The vocals on this are these glistening, soaring vocals over that, like I said, classic 70s rock sound. On the opening track, Ride the Sky, oh man, listen to that track and you'll fall in love. Now, you'll immediately recognize the horn part as it sounds eerily familiar from Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin. Now, this album came out the same time as Led Zeppelin 3, 1970, so there's dispute about who copied who. This album is worth a listen. Now, the original presses of this album, in good condition, go for big dollars, but Black to Black reissued this in 2010, and there's still copies available relatively cheap. So I recommend picking up a copy. I'll put a link below. This reissue by Back to Black is really, really good. So this week on Ultimate Pressing, I want to talk about Candlemass's Ancient Dreams. It's the third album by the Swedish doom metal band, and it has one of my favorite tracks by them called Mirror Mirror. Beautiful, gorgeous, operatic vocals by Messiah, and I love this album. The blending of these powerful, over-the-top operatic vocals with these low, deep, chugging riffs, intricate, articulate guitar solos interwoven, amazing sound. Love this album. This is a US pressing on Metal Blade Records. The cover is this gorgeous artwork, and it's very crisp and detailed. The jacket is a nice thick cardstock. Has these nice white Metal Blade Records label. And just a great record. A record label called Peaceville has been reissuing a lot of Candlemass's records. And on their reissues, they're usually a gatefold and on 2 LPs. They're custom labels. You might hear in the vinyl community custom labels that term thrown around, and all that means is that, you know, the label isn't just the logo of the record label. It's usually something custom to the album that it's on, and these are just close-up shots of the cover, which to me it's like, if you're gonna do a custom label, why wouldn't you do some artwork that adds to the cover? That's just personal preference. Main thing with these reissues is that they're spread out on 2 LPs versus the single LP of the original US pressing. What that means and what that allows for is you don't have the tracks all bunched up. The closer you get to that label, the more you get inner groove distortion in the sound, which you don't want. So by spreading it out, you get to avoid that, and you can put the tracks in the optimal position for your tone arm cartridge and stylus to pick up the music. You can cut the record louder, because the louder you cut it, the more space you take up. So if you have more space to work with, you can cut it louder. Now, I think when record companies cut albums louder, sometimes they're trying to compensate for the surface noise. They'll cut it real loud, that way it drowns out the surface noise. Sounds better, theoretically. Now, on these, this is cut just a little bit louder than the first edition. However, the sound is so much better on this. They don't talk about what source they got, if it's from a digital file, but when I listen to this, Messiah's vocals just smack you. Messiah's vocals are just huge and powerful and fill the room. The drum is just clean and crisp, well-rounded, and the bass just hits you in the chest. That's what I want on my record. That's the sound I want. I think this record is superior to the first edition. So this Peaceville reissue is really amazing sound. The only thing I don't like about it is they've zoomed in on the cover image. They've reduced the size of the text and changed it up a little bit, and the quality of the image is blurry when you look up close. So I don't know why they didn't spend a little more time getting that correct. But the most important part, the music, is really good, making it the ultimate person. Well, that's it for this week. If you enjoyed the show, be sure and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. And I'd love to know what you think. Hey, you just had a healthy dose of Rockoli, and I'll see you next time. Wait, hold on. Well, while I was recording, I just got some mail. So, let's open this up. Oh, awesome. This is Black Sabbath's Dehumanizer, just re-released by Rhino Records for Rocktober. And Van Halen's debut. I want to thank Frank Landry over at Channel 33 RPM. When I asked how to get into Van Halen, he recommended this album, so I can't wait to give it a listen.